quarantine doing? By the way, this is Maybay Kanatay, a second year student of Bachelor of Science in Biology. So today's video, we will basically learning about plant systematics. Systematics is the study of organisms of the past. It collects the study of variety of plants and group them accordingly in patterns of variation. It's also vitality interest in determining evolutionary history of life and species, features that result in adaptation of the environment. So, let's talk about the characteristic of plants. It's a science that includes and encompasses traditional taxonomy. However, its primary goal is to reconstruct the evolutionary history of plant life. It divides plants into taxonomic groups using morphological, anatomical, embryological, chromosal, and chemical data. Now, let's proceed the classification system for plant systematics. This approach to classify plants include cladistics, phonetics, and phyletics. What is cladistics? Means it relates the evolutionary history behind the plants to classify it into a systematic groups. Cladograms or family trees are used to represent the evolutionary patterns of descent. The map will note a common ancestor in the past and outline which species have developed from the common over time. A synapomorphy is a trait that is shared by two or more systematic and was present in their most common ancestor but not in earlier generation. If a cladogram uses absolutely time scale, it is called phylogram. What is phonetics? Phonetics means it's a relationship among group of organisms. What is phyletics? Means difficult to compare directly with the other two approaches, but it may be considered as the most natural approaches, as it assumes new species arise gradually. Phyletics is closely linked to classified, though as it does clarify ancestor and descendants. Now let's proceed the history of plant systematics. Early botanists such as Triopastos, Gaspard Bauhin, and Jean Bauhin may very well have unwittingly started the science of the plant systematics. Each of them classified many plant species in their books. Charles Darwin was the main influence of the science with the publication of The Origin of Species. He may have been the first to use phylogeny and call the rapid development of all the higher plants within recent geological time, and of the Magellan mystery. Triopastos divided plants into four groups, which is trees, shrubs, subshrubs, and herbs. Who is Triopastos? He was a scientist and a philosopher who made significant contributions to nearly every area through a science, and in particular the study of botany and ecology. Originally named Tyramus, they received the nickname of Triopastos, meaning defined speech, from Aristotle on 384 to 322 before Christ. Who is Gaspar Bauhin? Gaspar Bauhin, born in 1560. He is the best known for his contribution to the field of botany, and especially for the classification of plants. He was a disciple of the famous Italian physician Guillermo Marie Curie and also worked on human anatomical nomenclature. Bauhin wrote the Theatrum Anatomicale in 1605. Micromoskographia, a description of the body of man. Considered the finest comprehensive anatomy text to that time. Who is Jan Bauhin? Jan Bauhin, born in 1541, is a French physician and botanist, the elder brother of Gaspar Bauhin, whose major work, Historiam Plantarium Universalis, the first international flora containing description of 5,226 plants, is indicated to the great strides made in the knowledge of botany future in 16th century. Bauhin developed several botanic gardens, collective plants during his travel, and published the De Plantis Divis Sanctissiu Nomen Habentibus, is a list of plants named for saints. In 1591, and De Plantis Absentil Nomen Habentibus in 1592. Now, let's talk about the classification of plants. How are plants is classified? For centuries, biological scientists have worked to classify organisms in a way that would help clarify relationship among species through time across different and constantly changing environments. Some estimate that 5 to 40 million living species, with a combined dry or water-free weight of roughly 2 trillion tons, populate Earth, land, and water. So far, the scientists have managed to classify the name some 1.6 million species, including approximately 300,000 plants, more than a million animals, mostly insects, and several 100,000 other species. They still have somewhere between 3 or 4 million to up to 38 or 39 million species to classify and name. That's all. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something from me. That's all for today. Keep safe and always wear your face mask wherever you go. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!